But do people even really want to stand out to have a committed long-term relationship? Or are they more just, they say they want the commitment, but their actions don't back it with just constantly being surface level or constantly being a part of the noise as opposed to trying to stand out? I feel like they might try to, especially with guys, it's like, okay, maybe it seems like more women want to be committed than more guys want to be committed.
Well, that's a tricky one. Most people, I believe, who think they are evolved enough for a relationship are not.
Right.
And
when do you know?
For a long time, by the way, I count myself in that category, where I thought I was.
Me too, man. I
really thought there were times in my life where I really thought I was a great guy. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that I was ever a nasty person. I was never a mean person. I wasn't the great partner I thought I was. It's not like there are times in my life where I thought, God, I'd just be a great partner to someone. And I was not ready to be a great partner to someone, because I think the first time you really give yourself to something, really commit yourself to not just your own happiness and your own needs, because that's what most people talk about when they talk about a relationship, is their needs, their happiness, right? How good it feels to be in a relationship. It's about them. But it's not about seeing someone else, truly seeing someone else and understanding who they are and understanding what their needs are and supporting them and their happiness and their goals.
It's a great relationship when you stop thinking about your needs and you just say, I'm going to give to this person and look at them from a place of understanding and want to bring them so much joy and fulfillment, and not expecting return, but hopefully the other person is saying the same thing to about you.
Well, yes and no. There are a lot of people who, on that idea, that ethos, have lived a very masochistic life for a long time.
Really?
That, by the way, what you just described could describe one of two things. One beautiful, one terrible.
Uh-huh.
What you just described could either be an extraordinary relationship of two givers, or it could describe unrequited love. It could describe the person who is giving to someone and playing the martyr in their own relationship. They keep ignoring me. They keep, not meeting my needs. They keep being selfish. But I am just going to show up and be my best partner and love them and give my all. And one day they will turn around to meet me in that.
Right.
Many people have caused tremendous suffering to themselves and wasted a lot of good years.
So is it both give to yourself, make sure you're asking for what you need, but also giving?
It's a combination of respecting what your core needs are. What do I need? Like, when it really comes down to it, what's my standard for what I need? Now, how exactly someone meets that standard that's where the messiness of relationships comes in. Because you say, I want to be respected, and then someone does something and you go, I don't feel respected, but they go, but that doesn't mean a lack of respect to me. So now we have a whole conversation on the execution of a standard.
Oh my gosh.
And different definitions of what meets that standard. That's where the confusion comes in, and that's where we have to have some really loving, cooperative conversations to figure out, am I being, this is one of the hardest parts of a relationship, am I being reasonable in asking for what I'm asking for, or is this my insecurity speaking?
Oh, wow.
Which one is talking? And sometimes we're so close we don't even know. That's the danger. That's, by the way, I see one of the most valuable jobs I can do for people in my work is not to be a smarter voice than they are. Because people can be great. They can, when it comes to their friends or people around them or whatever, they can be very smart. But to be an objective voice outside of their drunken haze, because we're so close to something, we're not sober. And now we don't have logical answers to questions because we get to the point where we're arguing about something, I don't even know if I'm right. I don't know if the thing I'm saying is if I'm being the insecure one or if I'm being the reasonable one. And sometimes we leave a situation and we go, God, I was insecure. And sometimes we leave and we go, I can't believe I let someone convince me I was crazy.
Right.
They were the one that was doing the wrong thing and they convinced me that I was nuts.
So how do we step out of that emotional feeling where we're feeling overwhelmed or disrespected or hurt or sad or like the relationship didn't meet an expectation or communication was off, and we're in it and we're communicating and we're both frustrated? How do you step out and look at it from a different point of view so that you just don't keep repeating that conversation over and over?
I mean,
and don't hurt it further.
Yeah, I think we have to have a really healthy combination of always questioning ourselves and saying, where is this coming from for me? And would it really hurt me to compromise on this standard? Would it be the more loving thing to do to understand this about my partner? But in order to, that needs to be combined with a simultaneous respect for ourselves and what we need. And to, I think, go to a situation and say, okay, I want to be the most understanding, compassionate, loving partner I can be, who doesn't inhibit or limit my partner, who supports them, wants them to do great. But I also need to recognize that it's not, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. I need to be the person that can be understanding. What was I saying? Be understanding of my partner.
You want to be the most understanding of someone else, but you also have to know your own needs.
Be understanding of someone else, but, oh, that's right. I need to be the person that is understanding of the needs of my partner and what they want. But at the same time, what was it? I need to be understanding of my partner's needs. That was it. I need to be understanding of my partner's needs, but the context of me being super compassionate and understanding needs to be that I am, that this is happening in a loving environment where my partner wants to be my teammate. Mm-hmm. If we're in a situation where our partner isn't showing empathy for us and isn't, if you feel they're not trying to, that we're always coming to that side, that's a problem.
That's tough.
That's a problem.
There should be I see where you're coming from as well, type of energy and communication. Right?
Exactly.
Not just, I'm not getting what I want, you did this wrong.
You need to feel you have a teammate.
Yeah.
And a lot of people feel like they're constantly being understanding, but they don't have a teammate on the other side. I'm constantly trying to grow and understand your position, but I don't feel the same from your side. That then becomes a problem.
How do you have the conversation so that it switches or it becomes more of a equal partnership and teammate? If you feel like you're the only one being on the team, how do you get the other person?
I think we need to communicate a lot about the spirit of the relationship. You know what I mean? Like
not keeping score.
Yeah, like pride is a very hard thing to give up in a relationship because we become competitive often very quickly when we feel threatened, when we feel vulnerable, when we feel our partner's done something to hurt us. Now how do I score a point, or how do I?
Right.
And that's once you get into that cycle, it's like it spirals. One person has to be prepared to break that cycle. I'm not going to do that game. And I do believe that we have to love the way we want to be loved, and we have to constantly educate our partner on what it is to love. Not from an arrogant place, but we're all, in a sense, both partners are always educating each other. By, you do something I don't like, and if I have a loving, compassionate response to that, I'm also showing you what I want this to be in reverse. Mm-hmm. When I do something you don't like,
right,
here's the response I want.
I'm not attacking you.
Not a game-playing response, not a, like if you see a partner, you're in the early stages of a relationship and you feel your partner was really flirting with someone over there, having a conversation about something that made you feel uncomfortable, but from a loving place and from a kind place and from a place of, that made me feel, it hurt me to see that. And not, I'm going to blame you and I'm going to do this, I'm going to get angry, but that, that made me feel uncomfortable. Bringing an energy like that, most people aren't used to that in a relationship. We're not used to that standard of communication. We're used to doing something and then someone attacks us.
Reacting.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's we're constantly educating.
What's it going to take for us to not react to a situation where we feel hurt or like our expectation wasn't met from our partner and come from that place?
God, it's so difficult.
Because why do we react so much?
Sometimes it's just space. Like how I need to take a moment to process something so that I can have a more evolved response.
And not react. It's funny, I've been, the relationship I've been in, which is newer in the last 5 months, I want to talk about something right away and address it. She doesn't want to talk. She wants to have space so she doesn't react.
Yeah.
So she'll say like, I don't want to get angry at you. I don't want to yell at you. That's not the type of person I want to be. So I'd rather just not talk. And then I'm in limbo and I'm like, I just want to like resolve this thing. Let's at least communicate and then we can move on as opposed to holding on to something for half a day or a few hours.
Yeah. Here's the thing, space is easy when you get a text you don't like. Or when you see something you don't like from afar and you're not going to see that person for a few hours or till tomorrow. Now you have space to go through, I'm angry, I'm really, really angry, I'm upset, I'm sad, I'm hurt, I feel rejected, I don't feel enough. You can kind of cycle through those and then have a couple of sensible conversations with people whose opinions you respect. You and I have done this.
And be like, down, it's not that big a deal, take a break.
Sit down and you go, okay, this thing, I'm feeling this and I'm hurt and I'm this and I'm that and I'm that. And you have a couple of smart voices, either that come from in here.
Which is hard to do.
Which is very hard to get that objectivity. Or that come, from just one or two people whose opinions you really respect, who aren't going to tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Who aren't going to tell you, you're so right to feel that way.
Get angry.
You need someone who is brave enough and close enough to you and smart enough sometimes to recognize, I'm concerned that you're overreacting to this. And that this reaction is not going to serve you.
Yeah.
And that I think you need to bring this energy to the conversation. That is extremely valuable. What's hard is when you get information in real time and you're with the person and you're in the same room and now you're dealing with trying to process and create that, okay, I'm trying to get to a more positive place here while being asked to communicate in real time. Well, real time elicits reflex responses, and reflex responses are often very harmful to a relationship. Reflex responses are often based on instinct. Yeah. And instinct is very, very dangerous.
False instinct.
We're so often told, trust your instincts. And that's just not often great advice.
If you're not emotionally intelligent and if you're jealous all the time, then having a jealous instinct isn't necessarily the best thing.
But some of these instincts are kind of hardwired, right? What we're doing with a lot of our better nature is overcoming certain programming that we have. In a riptide, you get pulled out to sea. Your instinct tells you in that moment to swim back to shore against the current. Mm-hmm. Ignore the riptide, I just need to get back to shore. Which is stronger, you or the current?
The current.
And it will drown you. You will exhaust and drown before you get back.
True.
So
until it washes you to shore, just like dead.
Right, so in that moment, fighting harder won't save you. Thinking clearer will. And thinking more clearly means I need to swim sideways. I need to swim parallel. Let it take me out, swim further or swim parallel, because I'm giving myself a longer journey. But then when I'm out of the current, then I can swim back to shore.
Yeah, that's true.
Now instinct won't get you to do that, because that requires thinking clearly. Instinct will drown you in that moment. And in a relationship, in dating, your instincts will get you killed.
That's true.
You know, your instinct says, a woman goes on a date with a guy and has a great time and says, your instinct says, clear the calendar for the next 3 months. We found him.
Right.
We did it, guys.
We had an amazing night.
Clear the schedule.
We were connected on every level.
He's awesome. We have a great connection. Clear the calendar. This is what we're doing now.
Wow.
Even if, I'm not even saying someone who hates the rest of their life. You can like your job and still be so caught up in the chemical rush of, this was amazing, that this is all you want to do now, right? Well, this isn't good for what you want to happen here. What do you want to happen? Well, you want to get to know this person better, spend more time with them, invest at an organic pace based on the level of investment that's going on, right? The thing I've said for years, don't invest in someone based on how much you like them. Invest based on how much they invest in you. But people don't do that. People invest on instinct. I really like them. And my investment is proportionate to how much I like them, not how much I'm seeing there's a mutual investment.
And if you want to learn more about mastering relationships, then make sure to check out this video right here.
Exactly how you are, I love you. Like no changes, nothing. I love you exactly how you are. Sometimes we feel like we're owed that. And it kind of becomes an excuse, again,
To be lazy.
To grow.